Time to go live. Going live, going live, going live, going live. And according to YouTube, I am live. For those watching live, for those watching playback, and you can't actually see me yet. But hello there, and welcome to my 48th I Let's Say live stream on this channel. So basically, if you don't know what live streams are, essentially once or twice, or even 3 times a week, or there'll be 4 times. This week, I talk about current movie and TV topics going on in the movie and TV world right now. At the same time, though, I'll also be answering any live questions during this live stream. And also, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream. At the same time, though, I should say a couple of things off the bat today. First of all, I live next to a main road, so if you do have like a motorbike, a loud car, a truck, a tractor, or something like that going past at any point during this live, at any point during this live stream and it interferes with the sound, I do apologise about that. And also, even so, I live in the countryside. Sometimes it sounds like I live next to a building site because there's like some drilling going by at some point during this live stream. Again, if that does happen, I do apologise. And also, the stream isn't always the best. I do these live streams on OBS, and sometimes the stream cuts in and out. So if that does happen, I do apologise. Like if for some reason I'm talking, I'm making a point, and then the stream will just stop. I do apologise if that happens. And also, I should say today, this is my 3rd attempt at doing this live stream today. Man alive, it's been a long day. It really has been. And I've been trying to do these live streams, and literally when I started to do this one, about half an hour ago, now about 25 minutes ago, the stream just cut out pretty quickly. And then with this live stream, when I tried to do it again about 10 minutes ago for the second time, it also cut out again. So hopefully it doesn't cut out. Hopefully the stream works fine now. And it's not going to be a long live stream, by the way, because I'm not feeling that well today. I'm feeling about 40%. It's been a long day, and I've had a good couple of things on at the moment. I've been doing a couple of pre-recorded reviews as well, like one of the reviews I'll be uploading on Christmas Eve as well, my Christmas film review of the year, my big Christmas film review, should I say, which I'll be uploading on Christmas Eve, which I think may surprise some people. That's what I see when the review comes out on Christmas Eve. And also, I've just been doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm not feeling that well. Like I said before, I'm feeling about 40% today, maybe not even that, about 35%. So do stick with me on this live stream, and if I don't always make my points that well, I do apologise. That's also why I'm doing Hawkeye, my Hawkeye review as a live stream. I haven't actually done any of my reviews as a live stream as far as I'm aware. I haven't done any of my reviews as a live stream yet. I know I did a 2-episode review of the first 2 episodes of Loki when they came out, because I was looking forward to Loki actually quite a lot, and then I just didn't do any more episode reviews of Loki whatsoever as that series progressed. But this is my full series review of Hawkeye, and you know, also I've got to admit, another reason I'm doing this via live stream is because I really and this sounds quite bad, but I really can't be bothered doing a film review like this, or like a big review when I get my camera out and do it all like this and do a full-on edited review, because I don't have much to say about this show. This is not going to be a long live stream. I mean, I say that, but it might carry on for like 25 minutes, this live stream, but I don't think this is going to be a long live stream today, because I don't have loads to say about Hawkeye, but nevertheless, I could ramble on, and maybe I do have more to say than I actually realise. And also, it may seem at some points that I'm reading actually off a Word document. That's because I am. And actually, oh wait, my Word document's actually closed down right now, so just give me a sec to actually open up, because I missed my points on Hawkeye in a Word document. But other than that, guys, it should be an amazing live stream. Honestly, I am so whacked out today. I'm so tired. And, you know, it's getting close to Christmas now. I've got a couple more live streams I want to do before Christmas. Like, I'm going to probably do a live stream tomorrow doing my Spider-Man rankings, which, you know, won't just be Spider-Man in general, but I'm also going to do a Spider-Man ranking of my favourite Spider-Man movies and my favourite Spider-Men. I might even talk about my favourite Spider-Man villains. And also, on Christmas Eve, I'm going to do a Christmas live stream, which will probably be talking about my favourite Christmas movies and doing a little list on them as well. But anyway, today I'm talking about my view of Hawkeye, the new Marvel TV show, which has been completely overshadowed by Spider-Man, by the way. Honestly, I've really not heard that many people talk about Hawkeye, and I'm not surprised at all. Like, Spider-Man came out, what, it was a couple of days ago now. It feels like it came out about 3 months ago. But yeah, it only came out, what was it, last Friday? Or properly last Friday, or worldwide. It came out in the UK about a week ago now. Or was it a week ago? I'm lost track of the days, to be honest. I'm on my Christmas break now, so I've lost track of the days a bit. But yes, okay, Spider-Man's been out for what feels like quite a while now. But there's been so much anticipation around Spider-Man. Honestly, with all the kites coming back and all that and whatnot, I mean, it was my most anticipated movie for the whole of the year. So I was just so excited for Spider-Man. And honestly, in the weeks leading up to Spider-Man, my brothers would come into me and say, "We've got a new episode of Hawkeye to watch." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot we do," because I kept forgetting, and that's a shame because there's probably a lot of effort which was put into this show as a whole. There's probably a lot of effort which was put into Hawkeye. And I think all the effort has kind of gone under the radar. I think people's focus is on like, oh, Tom Holland's third Spider-Man movie. Are the Spider-Man going to be in there? I think that's what the focus is going to be on, the moment. And actually, even after No Way Home has, been and gone, even though it's not really been and gone, it's still out there. Even so No Way Home has actually come out and people have seen it, people are still theorizing that Spider-Man could have shown up in the last episode of this show. And by the way, I should say here, if you haven't read the title of this live stream, spoiler alert, spoiler, I will be talking about some big spoilers to Hawkeye, so if you haven't watched Hawkeye yet, please do turn away now, because we'll be talking about some big spoilers in Hawkeye. But yes, people even in, leading up to the last episode of Hawkeye, they're theorizing, is Spider-Man going to show up in Hawkeye? Is Tom Holland Spider-Man going to show up in Hawkeye? Because again, spoilers here for Spider-Man Home, because you haven't watched that yet, but if you haven't, you're living under a rock. But basically, the end of Spider-Man Home, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, well, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, ends up moving into a flat. He ends up moving into an apartment right near where the final battle in the final episode of Hawkeye takes place. So people are theorizing that perhaps, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, or Tom Holland's Spider-Man, should I say, will show up in the final battle of Hawkeye. And obviously, that didn't happen. But it's a fair theorization. Honestly, I was starting to think at one point in the episode, I was like, oh, this is taking place at the Plaza in New York. Isn't that where Tom Holland's Spider-Man has just moved in? Just things like that. And it's just, I don't know. I think a lot of focus right now has, unfairly, but at the same time, no, understandably, been on Spider-Man No Way Home, because that's a bigger movie. That's kind of the event movie of the year. I always think that loads of people go to cinema at Christmas as well. I just love a good movie at Christmas that really boosts up the box office, and I think Spider-Man No Way Home's been that, and I think there's been, not nearly as many people talking about Hawkeye as there might have been if this came out about, 2 months ago. And I think there's probably multiple reasons why it didn't come out 2 months ago, but actually, I think this show would have worked better if it came out in September. I don't think they really thought that through at all, because even so, yes, I understand the show is set at Christmas. I mean, look on the poster, there's Christmas lights all over that poster, there's a Christmas tree on there as well. I just think that if this show came out in September, it would have got a bigger audience, and perhaps got more people excited for No Way Home with the appearance of, okay, spoilers again here, I already warned you, Kingpin. And I think that sort of thing would have got people more excited for Spider-Man Home instead of it coming out around the same time, because I don't think it's having the same effect as I think the MCU wants it to, as I think Marvel wants it to. But anyway, apart from that, overall, my opinion on Hawkeye is that it's fun, forgettable fluff. Much like The Falcon and Winter Soldier, I didn't hate watching the show. I didn't despise it. I despised the end of WandaVision, and I did think Loki had a couple of pretty bad moments. But unlike those shows, actually I quite like Loki, by the way. I admit out there that I didn't like Loki. I think Loki's actually quite a good show. But the thing is, though, this Hawkeye for me is a bit more like, it's a bit more like The Falcon and Winter Soldier in the way that it's really forgettable. Honestly, I only finished the show earlier today. I didn't finish it this morning or anything like that. I only finished the show about 1 o'clock, and it's about 3:30. I'm doing this live stream now, and I've forgotten so much about it. I really have, and I wish I hadn't, but in the end, I just think it's forgettable fluff. Again, it just feels like it's setting up more things for future MCU TV shows or future MCU movies, pardon me there, and not in a good way. You know, many MCU films and MCU TV shows, I feel, and this is kind of a big problem with quite a lot of them, even something which I like, you know, with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, they all kind of feel episodic, like they're building up to something, and even the ones that finally have the big payoff, or the payoff, you know, in my opinion, some of the films that do have that big payoff, like Avengers Endgame, even them feel episodic to a degree, like a big TV movie, and honestly, Hawkeye feels like that sort of TV show that's kind of a spin-off of something you never really needed. Honestly, I never ever felt like I needed to know what Hawkeye was up to at any point during any of these movies, and now we have a Hawkeye TV show, which, by the way, isn't about Hawkeye. Honestly, this show is may as well be called the Kate Bishop Show. Hawkeye is a supporting character. I know he's in there, and I know he's quite integral to the plot, that's why quite a lot of things move around him in this show, but he's not the main character, can we point out. And I'm fine, by the way. I don't care that Kate Bishop's the main character of the show, but don't call it Hawkeye. Call it Kate Bishop, have Hawkeye there as well, advertise him all over the posters and things like that. That's fine, but don't call the show Hawkeye, because that's false advertising. You know, I'm not wrong there. Hawkeye's not got a big role in this show. Okay, we see his family, great. We also see, you know, Tony and Pepper in Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah, that is primarily a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. Yet here, you know, this is more of a Kate Bishop show. And even having Florence Pugh's Yelena come in there, which in my opinion was probably the best part of Black Widow, having her come in there, which is, you know, great to see Yelena in there, but having her in there, I know she was there to kill Hawkeye, but in the end, she wasn't there to kill Hawkeye, though. TV-wise, she was there to set up the relationship between her and Kate Bishop in future TV shows and future movies, whatever that's gonna go. Because honestly, that's what it is in the end. Yelena shows up in the show, so they establish that friendship between those two characters, Yelena and Kate Bishop, and that's fine. But you know, don't call it Hawkeye. It's false advertising, and that's another one of my big problems with the show as a whole. And also, I think that it was really cool to have Kingpin in there. Like, I don't know Daredevil. I don't know the Daredevil TV show. I haven't watched it. And maybe over this Christmas period, I will watch Daredevil. I don't know. Because obviously, you know, spoiler alert here for No Way Home. How would I give him a big spoiler warning? But spoiler alert here for No Way Home. Matt Murdock showed up in No Way Home. It wasn't really a big spoiler, to be honest. But, you know, Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil, showed up in No Way Home as Peter's lawyer. He's got that little moment. He's like, I'm a really good lawyer, when he saves a brick from hitting Peter when they're in his apartment. And it's a really good scene, and it seems like, you know, they're setting up a Daredevil TV show of some sort in the MCU, which is quite exciting. Maybe a Daredevil film, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But the thing is, though, Kingpin was great seeing him in there. I think Vincent D'Onofrio did a great performance, and it didn't have a huge effect on me, because I haven't seen the Daredevil TV show, but I did watch this with someone who has seen the Daredevil TV show, and he was really, really excited to see Kingpin in there. So obviously, Kingpin has that big effect, but he's completely wasted in the show. Honestly, they may as well just set him up in a post-credit scene of the show entirely. Like, that's what they may as well. They may as well just done a big post-credit scene at the very end of Hawkeye, which sets up like Hawkeye Season 2, so they can more focus on Kingpin as a villain. Because in the end, I don't think there's going to be a Hawkeye Season 2. Maybe I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong, but I don't think it's going to be a Hawkeye Season 2. I think it's going to go to the Echo TV show, because obviously Echo is quite an important character in the show as a whole, and I think maybe Kingpin will be explored more in that, because I think he's not dead, by the way. I know we heard him get shot, but we didn't see him get shot, so I don't think he's dead. But still, he just feels wasted. He shows up in the last episode. Vincent D'Onofrio does a great performance as Hawkeye. Sorry, no, as Kingpin, or what's his name, Wilson Fisk. I might be wrong there, by the way. Apologies if I am. Apologies if that is not his name, but still, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio shows up and he does a great performance and he's tuning the scene in the best way possible, things like that. But the thing is, though, it just kind of feels anticlimactic when he's on screen. It just kind of feels like we built his villain, and now it feels like he's going to be like this big mob boss, like the Tony Soprano of the MCU. And then in the end, he just has a couple of fights with Kate Bishop. He gets knocked out quite easily. Then he ends up, he's got scars all over his face and things like that. And then Echo supposedly shoots him. It's just like, what? Why is it doing like this? I don't know. The Kingpin stuff kind of felt, for me personally, a bit anticlimactic, because I heard what Kingpin is like as a character. I've seen the Kingpin incarnation in, you know, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I know that's comic books, so I know it's kind of like animated and things like that, but still, I've seen what Kingpin's like in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I just thought he was going to be used a bit better in the show. And I'm not saying he's used badly at all, but it just kind of felt like it was used wastefully, to be honest. So, and maybe they have a plan from the future. I dare say they do, because it's the MCU. You know, one thing the MCU has always been good at is having a plan. But at the moment, I just kind of felt like Kingpin is wasted, and I didn't want him to be, but that's kind of how I feel with him at the whole right now. And also, I quite like the Echo character in the show. I think she's used really well. And I'm always impressed when like a deaf actor or actress is in a TV show or film. You know, the same happened in the Eternals. You know, there's one character in the Eternals which is deaf, and I was really impressed with that in the Eternals. The film which I really didn't like, to be honest, but in the Eternals you got a deaf actress in there, and she works really, really well. And the same thing happens here. I applaud the MCU for doing that. I really do. I applaud the MCU for having, you know, deaf characters. I think that works really, really well. I really like they're taking that direction. But the thing is though, again, I wasn't that enthralled by that storyline. I thought the character worked well, and I think it could be done really well in her own TV show. But again, it just felt like it was forced in there to set up her own TV show. That's what it kind of felt like it was there for, and to bring in Kingpin in a kind of weird way, to be honest. I didn't mind the Echo character, and again, I applaud the fact that the MCU put a deaf actress in there to play a deaf character, you know. They didn't have to do that. Even if it was it's a deaf character, sometimes you can just get an actor or an actress who isn't deaf to play that character. And actually, they just got a deaf actress to play that character as well, and that's great. I really like the MCU did that. But the thing is, though, I don't know. I enjoyed that storyline to varying degrees, but I kind of wish, you know, she wasn't introduced via Hawkeye. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what I'm saying there, but I don't think her storyline was done to the best of its ability in this show. And also, like I said before, it was great seeing Yelena in there, you know, Black Widow's quote-unquote sister from Black Widow, from the Black Widow film, because I actually think she was the best part of the film. Well, her and David Harbour, as you know, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name is from Black Widow. Red Guardian, that's it. I think David Harbour was wonderful in that film, and I thought Florence Pugh was great as well. And it was great seeing her before. It just, oh, by the way, I think I'm cutting out a bit here. Oh well, my computer just decided not to respond to me, so just gonna wait for my computer to actually respond. I just responded back. Sorry about that. My computer decided not to respond to me. And by the way, I've got another comment, and I love getting comments in the chat. I really do, but I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying, and also it seems like my stream is cutting out on me. I don't fully know what's going on. It's gonna hopefully my live stream's working fine. It says my stream's health's alright, so it must be YouTube on the other side. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I got a comment, by the way, in the live chat, which is fantastic. I love getting comments. Not entirely sure what he's saying though. I love getting comments, by the way, but I'm not entirely sure what he's saying. But thank you for commenting nonetheless. But anyway, yes, it's great seeing Yelena in there. But again, it just kind of felt like it was just setting up something for the future, which we didn't necessarily need. And also, there's got the whole Hawkeye family dynamic, which you know is fine. It's a bit of fluff and stuff like that, and it's kind of nice to have in there. It's a bit of the heart and soul of the show, and it works to a degree. But also, you know that it doesn't really add much to it, because you know that Hawkeye's easy going to get home for Christmas, because he keeps saying, his kids keep ringing him up and going, Dad, are you going to make it home for Christmas? And like, okay, you know Hawkeye's easily going to make it home for Christmas. You know that's definitely going to happen. And the whole show just feels fluffy. You know, it just kind of feels like no one's really going to get hurt. And I know that's what one character that died in the last episode, but even him, he wasn't a huge character. This show didn't kill off any big characters. I mean, you know, Kate Bishop's mom went to prison at the end of the show. Great. She's not dead. You know, she's easily going to come back. It's Vera Farmiga who played Kate Bishop's mother, and that's quite a big actress. Of course, I'm not going to waste her. Of course, she'll be back. Just like the same way Marisa Tomei, who played Aunt May, of course, she's going to be back as well. Probably like some sort of vision in a future Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. And by the way, I'm referring to Spider-Man quite a lot in this review, and that's because I've been watching Spider-Man quite a bit recently after No Way Home. No Way Home has just made me love Spider-Man more. Honestly, the more I think about No Way Home, the more I actually really like it. But anyway, back to Hawkeye. Yeah, it just kind of feels like the whole show's a bit fluffy, a bit of fun, a bit like, it's Christmas, let's have a bit of fun with everything. No real big stakes. I know they mentioned Ronin in there, and they know mention some really dark themes, like growing up deaf, growing up with your parents, and things like that, but nothing is really done in quite a hard-hitting fashion. It's all done a bit like, oh, it's fun, we're having Christmas, it's that wonderful time of the year. I mean, even the trailer for this show, actually, it was like, it had the Andy Williams song, you know, it's the most wonderful time of the year in there, and actually, at the time, I thought that first trailer for the show wasn't summing up the tone of the show whatsoever. Now, after seeing all 6 episodes of Hawkeye, I can officially say, oh no way, the trailer for the show perfectly summed up the tone of the show, and in quite a, I don't know, naff way. That's kind of how I feel about the show overall. Like, there's that scene in the last episode where Hawkeye and Kate Bishop are fine hours at everyone. And, you know, it's a fine scene and things like that. It's a bit enjoyable. But at the same time, no, there's no sense of danger. There's no sense that these characters can actually die. And that moment in the last episode where, you know, Hawkeye actually says to Kate Bishop, "You're my partner now," or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but like, "You're my partner now." It's like, well, I know Hawkeye's not going to die now. I know Hawkeye's not going to die because you just said we're partners. And it's be like, why are you doing that? I don't know. It's just a bit of fluff in the end. It's kind of how I felt with The Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's probably a show I will never ever return to. Hawkeye is probably a show I never ever return to. It's got a couple of good parts in there, and I must admit, I enjoyed, you know, parts of every single episode each week. But it's instantly forgettable, and especially with Spider-Man No Way Home overshadowing the whole of the show, I just kept completely losing my focus on the show whatsoever. I really did, and it's a show which like I said before, will probably never ever return to, and it's just a bit of forgetful fluff in the end. I know Kingpin was introduced in there, and that was pretty cool and things like that, and I kind of liked the Captain Rogers the musical element. I thought that worked alright. I mean, I didn't love it as much as, you know, Crocodile Loki in Loki, or having, there was another thing, or having, you know, Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. I like that sort of self-referential stuff in Marvel movies. And normally, in this show, I would love something like Rogers the Musical, but I don't know, it just didn't really work for me that well. And also, that was their main post-credit scene of the whole of the show. It was just them singing "I Can Do This All Day" from Rogers the Musical. It's a bit like, is that how you're gonna really do your, you know, your big post-credit scene for the show as a whole, having them singing something from Rogers the Musical? And normally that would work for me, but it didn't in this show, I've got to admit. But, you know, Beck, who also did the musical score for WandaVision, and again, that was a really good musical score, really works really well. But again, I don't think that's going to be used in any future MCU. I can't even speak in this live stream. Honestly, I'm not on top form, but I'm powering through just for you guys. But yes, I don't think this musical score that we hear in Hawkeye is going to be used, and apparently my stream's coming out annoyingly. I'm going to hopefully wait for the stream to cut back on. This is annoying. Oh. Hopefully the stream will be back in a sec. This is really annoying. I'm going to wait for hopefully the stream to sort itself out. Not entirely sure what's going on with the stream, which is kind of annoying. Hopefully this works now. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Hopefully this is working now. Right, this is working. I just don't think it's working anymore. Right. I'm going to have to end the stream. I apologise about that if you guys could actually see me anymore. Don't know what's going on. But anyway, yes. Apologies.